After that Eagles Cowboys game, I may not make it through the show because of my voice, but we will find out on Comic Book Cannon. That's right. That's right. Eagles win against their arch rivals, the Dallas Cowboys. It was ugly at times, but they won. That's the most important thing. Is that right, Joe? My good friend, partner in crime, and co-host of the show.
Eagles fly on the road to victory. Fight.
You're here.
God. Oh, God. I'm shirtless on Comic Book Cannon.
Oh,
I just got so excited.
First, congratulations.
Oh, man.
Congratulations.
Ooh.
Oh, my God. What a game. What a game. What a game. Yeah, Joe, how do you feel I know it's our show, so we do what we want pretty much. There are some Dallas fans that watch our show as well, but you know what? We're a little bit biased, and we'll continue to be, because the Eagles are the best football team of all time. Philadelphia's the best sports city ever in the history of sports cities in the entire world. What else, Joe? How do you?
The chat is very alarmed about my presence. I apologize to everyone who had to view my nipples.
Listen, I like your nipples, and as a fan of your nipples, it's made this day even better. So that's all I'll say about that. But I was just asking your feelings right now, because you are drained, because you've had a busy week.
I'm exhausted. This weekend was Back Deck Comic Fest at my house. We had an awesome time, but doing any show, even one just in your backyard, it takes it out of you, just moving that many boxes of comics. I probably brought 20 to 30 long boxes in and out of the house. And then I did a claim sale today and watched the birds and went to a comic show this morning. So it's been a long weekend, but we're here. The birds won. Everything is good.
And I'm not sure. I think Brendan lives in Maryland for some reason, but the collector.
Brendan's from New England, right?
Well, I think he's saying it was unfortunate that we saw your nipples. I don't think
that's true. Yeah,
that's not that bad. It really isn't.
It could be worse.
We're going to talk about this one more time. We're going to talk about this one more time before the end of the show, but let's talk about Mike and what he's got going on after the canon.
Yeah, so after Comic Book Canon,
Hope at Chillytown, obviously.
Hope at Chillytown, Mike, hop on over to his Instagram. We're going to go from YouTube when this show is over to Mike's Instagram. He's going to be doing an unboxing, as well as he does a Sunday comic sermon. He's been behind on it, and we've all been waiting for another one. Well, he's finally doing another one, a nighttime sermon, Sunday night sermon, which
never ever has been done ever
in the history of all comic book shows that are religiously based. But yeah, so come hang out on Hope at Chillytown's Instagram after this show for a live unboxing, CGC unboxing, as well as just some discussion and stuff. And I think he said he might do a claim sale at the end of it. We'll see. Just
tell us more about it, Pope. Tell us Midnight Mass. Yes,
okay. Midnight Mass. There we go.
We have a busy show. We have some serious drama we're actually going to touch upon. And no shit, Chet has done the first investigative report in Comic Book Canon history. You do not want to miss that. We're going to get into the news in a hot second, but I want to confirm something, Joe, real quick. Let's hope Joe and Jeff are wearing pants. This is the first time Jeff has ever worn pants on the show. We get on here and we chat for a few minutes before, and every week we're like, "You got pants on?" I'm like, "No," and he's like, "You got pants on?" No. You gotta be comfortable.
Every week, he just happens to put them on this week in order to thwart this.
Ridiculous. Yeah, absolutely. So I made you look bad because you're wearing your thong. No big whoop. Anyways, speaking of thongs, we have the news. And Joe, we are super excited about this week because a certain trailer dropped. It looks amazing, but I don't want to get too much into the weeds. Get to it, Joe. Give us the news.
My mind is blown.
Ditto.
My expectations were surpassed.
Ditto.
So much with the drop of the Echo trailer.
I'm going to be a dick and interrupt you because we've been duped into believing in some of these trailers. Like for me, specifically Morbius and Carnage 2. And oh my God, it hurt.
Venom 2, yeah.
or Venom 2. I'm sorry, it hurt. But go ahead. I just want to preface it. But go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, certainly trailer doesn't mean everything. Just because a trailer looks cool does not mean the movie looks cool is going to be good, and vice versa. If the trailer looks bad, doesn't mean the movie is going to be bad. I will say this: I thought that Echo as a character in the Hawkeye show was amazing, super standout, really original, awesome. Loved her. Love the actress, Alakwa Cox.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, she fits the part. Really, really cool character. Great representation as well. And this trailer, I was concerned. I'm not gonna lie, because this show got delayed, and this show got they said that they were going to release it all at once rather than episodically every week. It was just going to be a binge watch thing, and I was so worried. Then they dropped this trailer on us, and this feels every bit like the Daredevil Netflix show, which is just universally loved by Marvel fans.
Agreed. I mean, the fact that it's it's gritty, it's like super graphic. It had people putting guns up to the other people's necks and shooting those people falling over in the trailer.
Yeah, we should note that this is officially going to be a TVMA project, similar to the Netflix Daredevil show, and that is the equivalent, the television equivalent of movies rated R. And the MCU has not had one of those things yet.
Absolutely.
We're getting the first rated R movie with Deadpool 3. But this will be the first TVMA or rated R project in the actual MCU.
I got a few things to point out too. That we missed a news piece last week where the reshuffling in the Daredevil show of bringing on board, I do believe, one of the producers from Moon Knight and another producer from a other show that was very graphic as well. So I have a feeling it's going to follow along the same lines as Echo. I also want to point out, look at this amazing poster, people. Look how cool and badass Echo looks. But on top of that, as you remember, the last time we saw Kingpin in Hawkeye, Echo shot him in the face. And you can see, look at this shadow of the Kingpin with this like almost like bullet hole like wound in the face, which is what happened in the comic books. I think this is just, everything is setting up to be outstanding. Really hope it lives up to it. It comes out on January 10th. But that trailer is so good. And if you guys have not seen that trailer, please, please, please check that out because you will not be disappointed at all. But speaking of, it's starting this whole new branding of a different type of series for Marvel.
Yeah, I want to say one thing before we go into this. I recommend everyone out there go read Daredevil Volume 2. Obviously Frank Miller Daredevil is quintessential Daredevil. The current stuff by the recent stuff by Chip Zdarsky, very good. But honestly, other than the original Miller run, my favorite Daredevil that I've ever read is that stretch of Echo in Daredevil Volume 2, the Marvel Knights run, which her first appearance is issue 9. Kevin Smith writes the first 8 issues of that run. And then I forget who takes over, but great writing. And it what happens, she shot Kingpin in the face. That happens in the comics. That's something that they took directly from that run. I definitely recommend it.
Yeah. Again, I can't wait. January 10th. And it's starting a whole new branding of series that are in the MCU, but more grounded. We're at a point in the MCU where it's like, if you don't know much about what happens before, you may get lost. And that should be a major concern for the MCU. However, them starting this new branding of, and I think Josh just mentioned it, Marvel Spotlight, a more grounded, character-driven type of series, Joe. I'm interested to see what you think about that.
Yeah, so I am a street level guy. That is what I am about. I prefer characters like, Peter Parker. I like Batman. I like, the X-Men when they're terrestrial, not going cosmic. I love Daredevil. Like that is the kind of stuff that I prefer. It's much more relatable, so on and so forth. And that's one of the reasons why I think the Daredevil Netflix show is like the best thing that Marvel has ever done. So this is really cool. You know, taking these street level characters in a much more grounded approach, fleshing them out, introducing them, and then what I assume is going to happen is they're going to be weaving these characters into the greater Marvel universe.
Yeah, let's hope for that. I really don't want offshoots. Is this part of the MCU? Is it not part of the MCU? I don't want any of that confusion. I mean, I believe if the MCU is producing it, then it's part of the MCU. So let's hope for that. It is getting a bit convoluted with all the timelines, and Loki is awesome, by the way, which we haven't even talked about on the show yet.
Isn't that crazy? I'm behind.
Blown me away.
I'm a week behind, so
I'm not going to say anything, but that last episode was like, wow. Yeah. But everybody's like, oh, the MCU's back. It's like, come on, like they're going to have peaks and valleys, but it is getting a bit convoluted for people, for mainstream audiences, people who don't, live by the comics that like we have. So it's exciting to see them kind of do this so you can bring other people in.
I'll tell you this. One of my favorite things is when my friends that, are fans, but they're not comic book people. They're not diehards or anything like that. Even diehard like MCU movie watchers, they'll come to me with questions or, mostly questions about like the timeline or who a character is if they skipped a movie and they're not quite sure. I love answering those questions. It's so fun to me to just kind of inform people, fill them in so that they get the whole experience without having to spend, dozens of days watching all these MCU movies.
Yeah. Again, I have yet to go to an MCU film with my girlfriend, but I'm excited to because the Marvels comes out next week. That may be the first one. We shall see. But she hasn't seen every one of them. So it's going to be kind of filling in the gaps, which I'm not used to, but I'm excited to bring other people into the fold.
She saw Ms. Marvel, though, the show, right?
No.
Oh,
there's a lot. There is a lot.
That's one you might want to watch.
I know. There's a lot, and I don't know, but it's coming out next week. She's mentioned it. So well, she said, isn't this out now? I'm like, it's coming out next week. Anyways, but moving on. A little bit something more serious to kind of focus on, and no joking around because this is something that Joe, you have opinions on.
Yeah,
I have opinions on as well.
We touched on this last week. Basically, last week when we had just had this news break in the comic book community, there was I mentioned that someone, I didn't name them, a prominent seller on Whatnot had been accused of theft. A lot has come to light since then. Not only video footage of that seller's employee blatantly stealing, undeniably stealing.
Undeniably in that video.
But also a lot of dissection of that video that very much looks to me like the seller himself was involved in this as a distraction. A lot of denial on his part, a lot of other stories coming out from other sellers in the community, other sellers on Whatnot, other, collectors, people that have bought with him, worked with him, just a lot of negative stories that we don't want to hear. I will say at this point, the seller is Epic Nation Collection on Instagram, on Whatnot. And I truly believe that this person is not good for the community. I think that at the very, very least, this person is dishonest and disingenuous. And at the very, very worst, they are actively stealing from people. And you can cast your own judgment. You can watch the video and see what happened and, watch the breakdowns. But to me, it 100% without a doubt looks like the employee was stealing. And to me, it very much looks like, without a shred of a doubt in my mind, that Epic Nation was aware and was running distraction during the theft. And that's really sucks. So again, like I said last week, be careful who you buy from. Support good people in the community. Support people that are, running a good business, running a moral business, an ethical business, honest about what grades the comics are, honest about, completeness, and of course, honest about where those books came from, rather than, stolen books. And yeah, so I personally, and this is my opinion, and you can make your own opinion and support whoever you want. I'm not here to tell you what to do about anything. I personally will not be dealing with Epic Nation, and I have bought from in the past. Not something I'm going to do again. And yeah, honestly, he sells on Whatnot. I'm probably not going to be using Whatnot until they do something about it. Because the fact that, you know, he has been caught stealing books and had all these other stories come out about him, and he's still selling on that platform, that bothers me.
Yeah. Again, another thing that you know, is happening since the incident is he keeps going online denying, and just digging himself into more of a hole, talking for hours upon end to just deny.
Mm.
It's making him look worse even at this point. Almost, I don't know if he's delusional and really believes what he's saying, or if he's just trying to completely mind wipe this thing from existence, but it's not going to happen. The damage is done. You move on. And somebody who's innocent would be like, look, I didn't do it. This is what happened. I don't know. You guys, you know, and just leave it alone. But this person keeps going at it and at it and at it. So
yeah, and part of the problem is that initially when this happened, this is one of the big things that I saw, at least, that, you know, there's no more proof of this because it's deleted, but I'm sure someone screen capped it somewhere. There was a video. There's video surveillance footage that has been used in this, and people posted it. When Epic Nation posted a video saying, I didn't steal anything, look at this video, he edited out the part where his employee slips the books into his pile. And the fact that he did that at least means that he's complicit in a cover-up. If not being knowledgeable about the theft to begin with, he at least tried to cover it up, which is wrong in and of itself. And it also definitely leans towards, yep, you were involved. You know,
and he's either really stupid to think that people would believe that compared to other videos, or he thinks his audience is really stupid and that they would believe it. So I don't know.
He's got a big following. He's got, you know, I think he has about 3,500 on Instagram, but he has over 30,000 on Whatnot. And if you just yell loud enough, and, you know, people will just kind of believe you and believe what you're saying. And, you know, if that's the case, then, you know, you can sway people in a lot of ways. And, yeah, it's his, I believe is divorced from what I heard. But yeah, I think they're like cousins or something like that. That's what I heard, at least. I don't know the truth behind any of that. You know, I don't know the guy's family tree. I only know what is in that video. And also I know what I've heard from other people that have dealt with him as both a buyer and as, you know, business dealt with him in a business sense. And there are a lot of stories that are coming out that are, it's too many to be like, oh, he made a mistake this one time. Oh, you know, maybe this business deal didn't go the way they planned. It's the same things over and over and over again. And yeah,
that's a trend. Again, that's a trend that somebody sets, and it's like par for the course. Brendan, I just want to reiterate this because he's kind of said what you said, Joe. Epic is shady, but please, people, remember that this is one guy. Being scum is not confirmation of other rumors and hate directed at other sellers, content creators, platforms you may not like. I'm gonna use you as an example, Joe. You are, I hate to admit it, but you are a top-notch guy that is fair in everything you do, and also just a genuinely good human being. It pains me to say this. Your wife may stick up for it and agree with me on that. But again, Joe's a perfect example of that. You're not going to see him pull any shit like this. So, yeah.
I mean, listen, I do this because this is my hobby. This is something I love doing. And the fact that it's grown to be, you know, I'm doing multiple claim sales a week, you know, a handful of conventions, almost like one convention a month at this point. And you know, being able to put out YouTube videos and, you know, content here, as well as our live show and Instagram posts every day. Like, it's really fun for me to do this. And that's why I'm here. Other people, unfortunately, are going to be here just to make money. They don't care about the community. They're here to drum up business for themselves.
I'm making
and
a
it's a
face, by the way, because I'm reading your wife's comment. That's
Oh.
it probably stinks, but anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, dude, you should actually the sweatshirt that I wore during Back That Comic Fest yesterday. It needs
moving on.
Yeah, but yeah, just know who you're buying from. Whether and this goes for everything, whether it's comics or some other business you're giving a company. You want to support good people doing good things, and yeah, especially in a tight knit community like this one.
And I'll be honest, I don't know if this is ever expressed this way, but it's an honor to be able to be here talking to you all, and you guys actually come, on a Sunday to hang out with us for an hour or two to talk about comics. It's an honor for Joe to be on a claim sale, and people are interested in buying his books. So you're in a position where it's like, this is great. I love talking about this stuff. We're here talking about it with you. So you don't take that for granted. You shouldn't cheat people out of the stuff that, you're there for. And it's just sad all around. So yeah, anyways.
Yeah.
But with that being said, he is not the only, Epic Nation is not the only one in the community pulling this stuff. And we've mentioned this before, or actually today, this is our first, hopefully, probably in a series to get down to the bottom of things of Chet investigative reports. So, Joe, I think we should just roll it. Chet is anxiously waiting.
Yeah, let Chet. I'll give Chet some kudos on this one. He did dove deep. He dove deep into this. He's really trying to, get to the core of this story. And yeah, like Jeff said, it's Epic Nation's just one of many people that are, pulling shady business, and Chet seems to have discovered another one. Let's take a look.
Yeah, let's take a look here.
Greetings, my fellow comic book enthusiasts, and welcome to the first episode of Chet's Investigative Files. Today, we're diving headfirst into a controversy that's rocking the comic book world to its core. Accusations of comic book theft against the influencer known as Johnny Galactico Comics. Now, Johnny, you've been making quite a stir on social media, proclaiming your innocence and blaming the whole thing on your overzealous fans.
Fans, I stand before you today, falsely accused of a crime I did not commit. The allegations against me are ridiculous fabrications.
Johnny, let's not forget that there's solid evidence against you, my dear influencer. Here we have a crystal clear pic from a recent convention showing you, Mr. Squeaky Clean, casually strolling past a vendor's booth, your eyes darting around like a squirrel on a caffeine rush. And what do we see, my fellow detectives? As you nonchalantly browse the comics, your hand discreetly slips into the vendor's box, plucking out a rare first edition worth a small fortune. Oh, the audacity, the sheer nerve of it all. Mr. Squeaky Clean, you've managed to tarnish the reputation of comic book influencers everywhere with your sticky finger. But wait, there's more. We've also received reports of you using your influencer charm to sweet-talk vendors into giving you discounts, only to resell the comics at exorbitant prices to your unsuspecting followers. Johnny, you're not just a thief. You're a con artist, a manipulator, a wolf in sheep's clothing. So, Johnny, I suggest you come clean, confess your sins, and apologize to the comic book community for the damage you've caused. And to all the comic book fans out there, remember, not all that glitters is gold. Some of your so-called idols may not be as squeaky clean as you think. Chet out!
Johnny Galactico Comics is another one, everybody. And as you saw, full Johnny rant, denying anything he was involved in anything. Full Johnny rant, link below. Please watch it after the show. Don't leave right now, though. But that's something to behold. It's really an interesting rant. This guy is full of himself. Still an AF-15, Joe.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty crazy. Johnny Galactico. I've been watching Johnny Galactico's channel for a couple years now. Big supporter. I bought from him. I've sold to him, and just seeing that, it kind of hurts me deep down on the inside.
It may not be the last time we've ever heard from Johnny Galactico Comics either. Looks like Chet's starting some beef, but that's what we're here for, right?
Yeah.
Just weeding out the bad apples, even though you don't weed out apples. Anyways, moving on. Next, we're gonna have the Ask Joe segment. But before we do that, we're going to say hello to you fine people. That allows you time to be like, oh, what do I want to ask Joe? 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 Does his laundry really smell that bad? That's something that maybe your wife could answer as she's doing the laundry maybe now. I don't know. She said that. Not to pigeonhole her in that. Again, I'm not sexist in any way.
Wow.
She said she was airing out the dirty laundry. Go do the laundry, Joe. Come on. Do your
I do the dishes. She does the laundry. I do the dishes.
You put the dishes in a dishwasher, Joe.
You put the laundry in the laundry washer, the washing machine.
You still got to fold. That's the worst part of doing laundry. Anyway.
You think we fold?
Oh,
we're millennials. We don't fold anything.
You don't fold. Look at how wrinkle-free that shirt is.
I'm wrinkly as heck.
All right, I don't want to do this anymore, Joe. We should be more positive. We're both tired.
Say hi to the community. Everyone, put your Ask Joe questions.
Yeah, Ask Joe questions coming up. But first, let's say hey to Tishu, who's asking about your glasses. I think your wife was, yeah. Anyways, we got Bonds. Paul Bond in the house. We got Dr. Frankenstein. No, it doesn't. I'm not sure what that she's talking about the dishes or the laundry or you doing nothing. Matt Stadge, emptying the dishwasher is hell. Matt, let me ask you this question. Would you rather fold laundry or empty the dishwasher? For me, it's empty the dishwasher. Joseph.
Yeah, I think dishwasher.
Hell yeah. No question. Let us know in the chat. Mark Ledecker says Chet. See, I did chat. Mark Ledecker in the house. We got Nukes Comics. Honors mine. Never as a kid could I imagine talking comics live with someone across the country. It's pretty cool indeed. We got Josh's Comics. Goonish Lurker. Immortal Scruffy. Yeah, Joe's great. Love his claim sale. There's not, I think he's being sarcastic there, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Who else do we have here? Who else? We got Don Gustavo's Whatever It's Stuff. We got Brendan Riley, aka the Collector Without Fear, who is a self-admitted masshole. Masshole. That's somebody who is from Massachusetts, and they're very Massachusettsy. We got Jordan Nori. Who else? I do believe Dan De La Torre is here. We got Pope at Chili Town. He has a little thing coming up, the Midnight Mass after the comic book canon. So please check that out on the Instagrams. We got Dr. Plagueis. We got, oh snap, go Birds. Go Birds. Who else do we have? We got Raw Dog Comics. We got, what else do we have? TJ. Yeah, the show is going to be epic. We see what you've done there. We got Angry Otter Comics. We got 360 Comics. We got Heroes Reborn. Excuse me, I just burped. And yeah, Angry Otter Comics, as I said. All right. Oh, there we go. Absolutely. Josh, a real man, does the laundry and dishes for his woman. Looks like you got some more tasks to do after the show. But now that we're done with that, Joe and I are going to do our best to give you what you came here, what you paid for. We are not going to cheat you out of anything. We are going to give you what you paid for. And Joe and I, we were yelling at the TV for the Eagles, and our voices may be a little off, but we may come up with something special and unique. So here we go, Joe. You ready?
I'm ready.
As Joe. So good, man. My voice, it did not feel as strong as it normally does, but it was giving this unique intonation that I don't think I've ever projected.
Yeah. And I was doing a little twang on mine.
I know. You've been practicing that. You said you're going to pull it out for a while. All right, let's get this party started, shall we?
Okay, hit me.
We got Brendan Riley. From a reader's experience point of view, how do you feel about the paper stock used by different publishers today? I love Marvel, but much prefer paper stock used by the likes of DC, Boom, and others. Great question, Joseph.
Yeah. I mean, Marvel paper is literally so low quality. It's basically like it's not quite as bad as it was in the mid 90s. I feel like mid 90s paper quality, like is especially like Clone Saga era Spider-Man books are the worst paper that's ever existed. Which it makes it kind of hard to get a 9.8 on the first appearance of Scarlet Spider. But anyway, Marvel has terrible paper quality. Quite honestly, like as a reader, from a reader experience, we're just talking about reading here. I don't care. I don't care really what it feels like. I hold the book, I flip the pages, I read it. As someone who cares about collecting comics, cares about condition, cares about grading sometimes. Yeah, like a lot of new books just come off the shelf with color breaking spine ticks now because the paper quality is so poo poo. I will give a big shout out to a lot of the indie companies, but particularly like Boom Studios, I feel like has like the best paper quality right now. But again, like it feels better in the hand, but like, does it really matter? Not really.
From a collector's perspective, it sure does. But
sure, absolutely.
It's like I think we've talked about this before in previous episodes. Where why can't we have that paper, that newsprint type paper? I do believe it's because we have less options in terms of color and things like that. But my God, that seemed to be like the best type. And I know we're talking about more about the covers and things like that because the black rubs off on there on a lot of the Marvel books, especially like, for example, like Dr. Aphra. You always got to look on that back spine to see if there's a color rub on there. So, but anyways, I do enjoy the newsprint paper. That's a long reply for me to say that. All right, moving on. We're going to have a question from Nukes. How about that? Shall we?
Let's go.
Let's do it. Top 3 pieces of advice for running your first online claim sale.
Okay. This is good. This is a good one because I was just talking with someone actually recently. I've been doing claim sales for 2 years, a little over 2 years. My first ever claim sale was literally October of 2021. So almost exactly 2 years ago. And I have really built it up in that 2 years. Today, randomly did a claim sale at 5:00, announced it 15 minutes before, and I had 40 people in the room most of the night. It was great. It does not start like that. So my first piece of advice is going to be go in with no expectations. If you sell a single book, be happy. My first claim sale was like a couple hours long, and I think I sold like $60 worth of stuff. And I was like, great, this is great. I got $60. Whoa. And it's built to a lot more than that at this point. So go in with no expectations. Make sure you're promoting it. Even I would say even like going as far as planning a date for it, a date and time, maybe like even 2 weeks out, 3 weeks out, and promote it every couple days. Be like, here's some books that are going to be there. Make sure you show in video what is going to be there, especially that week leading up, a couple days leading up to it. That's a great time because, someone sees it on a Wednesday. Say you're doing it on a Friday night. Someone sees something on a Wednesday and they're like, oh, you know what? I need that book. Let me come back and get that. Let me make sure that I'm at this claim sale. Promoting it and stuff like that. And then the third thing is make sure you leave people happy. Have good deals. Even if you're like kind of taking a hit on the books a little bit, say a book recent sales have been $20, $25. If you let that go for 15, you're going to probably have a return customer. Sure, you lost out on $5 worth of value, but you need to build that up. You need to build up the return customers. Make sure you're giving deals because I'll tell you this, there have been plenty of times that I've hopped into a live claim sale and I saw a bunch of books that were marked very high over market or even like, everything at market, but they're firm. They won't come down at all. And I don't even hop into their claim sales anymore because if I've never bought anything, then why keep going? So yeah, those are my 3 things. Promote it. Make sure you let people know what you're going to have there and stuff, pictures, videos, whatever. Go in with no expectations. If you sell one thing, be happy about it and give some deals, maybe even do like a giveaway or something like that. Anything to make people want to be there, want to buy stuff and come back. Now, if you do giveaway, one thing I will say is do a buyer's giveaway. Don't do a giveaway for like just them just being in the room. You want to incentivize buying. So some things I'll do that sometimes, a random person is going to get, random person that bought something is going to get a free book, or even you could do the person who spent the most money gets a free book, or the person who claimed the most individual books gets a free book, so on and so forth. So good luck, Nukes.
I got two additional follow-up questions, or actually what you think about certain things. First off,
Okay,
as an outsider, I like to see the people that are selling. Is it important for, because you see a lot of people that are behind the camera and they put the book in front of the camera or what have
Yeah.
you. It's nice to see you walking around, wheeling and dealing, throwing books up and blah, blah, blah. Plus you have an incredible body as well. And you want to show that off to as many people as you possibly can.
Yeah. The chat really liked it when I was.
But it's important to get that
there.
personal kind of connection with this person, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean. I think that's.
I
important.
agree. I do prefer. You don't have to be front and center the whole time on camera, but when I do my claim sales, I pop in, I say something, I'll hop in and talk about it. I move stuff around on the wall. People see me. I think I definitely prefer that, because you kind of see the person. You see, oh, this is a real person that I'm talking to, not some, faceless voice behind the screen. So yeah, I agree with that.
And then another thing that you got to cover your ass. I don't know how you do it in terms of payments, right? How do you? Because again, if you're doing a claim sale, it's much different than doing something on Whatnot. Because you don't do it on Whatnot, you do it on Instagram or eBay or what have you. So, what are your thoughts on payments or advice for a payment?
Yeah, I mean, the standard, at least for most people, and for me particularly, is Venmo or PayPal. Either one of those is fine. I have enough of a decent reputation that people will pay me, friends and family, so I don't get hit with the fees. But certainly at first, some people, they're like, "Hey, I don't want to do that." I'm like, "That's fine. Hey, why don't you pay me a couple times? Pay me this time, maybe buy from me again, pay me goods and services or whatever, and then later on down the line, once we have a relationship and you trust me, switch to friends and family whenever you feel comfortable. If someone does not want to use friends and family, that's fine. But most people will, especially in the comic book community, who have bought from me plenty of times. It's always great when you have local buyers too that can bring in cash. Always good.
Yep, that's good advice right there as well. This is more of a request than in asking Joe for information or an opinion.
Okay.
Can you hold a back deck Comic Fest the weekend of Baltimore Comic Con so your boy here can get the full experience?
I wish I could do that, but I think I would run myself ragged, because I go to Baltimore Comic Con and that's a tiring experience, as well as back deck Comic Fest. So I definitely can't do that. Maybe I could do it like a week away or something like that. But
when is Baltimore Comic Con?
Usually October.
Oh, so it's already passed.
Yeah, it was September. I think it was September this year. Yeah, because it was September this year.
All right, never mind. The weather should be decent. I mean, as long as it doesn't rain. But yeah, that's a tough
one for you. Yeah, I mean, I could do it like Dr. Plagueis. If you want to come out here for a whole week, I could do it the weekend before, the Sunday before or something like that, and then stay around for Baltimore Comic Con. Who knows?
I do believe Dr. Plagueis is West Coast, so
yeah, Washington, I think.
If
not the docks, but
if you can make it, Doctor, again, we should all meet up. I like this question, Joe, because I got some answers as well. Because sometimes I answer even though it's called Ask Joe. If Marvel called you tomorrow and put you in charge of the MCU, what changes would you make?
Oh man. All right. So one big thing that I would make, obviously, given what we've gotten in the MCU so far, the Avengers are the main team. They're the focus. But one thing that I don't think they did very well, they had the Avengers team. They had that core Avengers team that was in the first Avengers movie, and they added some other characters. Miss Marvel hopped in, and and Vision was added to the group. Miss Marvel wasn't really an Avenger, but still. But in the comics, Avengers come and go. Hulk quits in Avengers 2 and then rejoins the team a couple issues later. You have members of the X-Men hopping over to the Avengers, Beast, Wolverine. You had Monica Rambeau becoming the leader of the Avengers in the comics. They should have done that. They should have had characters leave one at a time. And yeah, I guess they kind of have, but I just feel like it was like this like solidified team. And then when half that team died or went away, it's just like, okay, who's the Avengers now? There is no Avengers now. And I don't like that they did that.
I think it's much harder to do that in the films than it is comic books because you have, let's just say 12 issues a year plus an annual of a certain series, but also have other issues that come out of these characters that are related to that, right? It's hard to do that with 3 movies a year to be able to let that breathe, right? And I think now where we're at, I think everybody's looking for the next Avengers, and that is what's kind of exciting because there's a void now, right?
Yeah.
There really is an Avengers, and we'll see what happens. We'll see how that comes to life because we are getting 2 more Avengers films if everything stands the way that they've set it up. So yeah.
And I do think there needs to be more teams. Dan just dropped the Defenders, of course. There could totally be a Defenders team, or Hawkeye's kind of retired. He can kind of mentor a young Avengers. I was saying would be
Young
great.
Avengers would be dope.
Yeah. He's like Hawkeye leads the West Coast Avengers in the comics. Wouldn't it be great if they had a West Coast Avengers that's basically the young Avengers? It's kind of like, the farm league there. I think that would be really cool. Obviously we're getting the Fantastic Four, which is not the same kind of team, but it is a team. And then X-Men, of course, will eventually, be a thing.
So, and we do have Jordan Norrie. We have Thunderbolts coming, definitely. I mean,
there we go. Yeah.
Everything stays as planned. So we have a lot to look forward to. And I think things will be getting better. There's rumors about them kind of, rethinking some things down the line. There's rumors about Tony Stark and somebody else, joining again.
Black Widow coming back.
I don't know. We'll see about that.
Rumors are rumors.
Yeah, exactly. Look. Let's just enjoy. What we have to come. Again, Loki's been phenomenal. Echo looks incredible. Like it's exciting. It's exciting time. So, but right there, that's it, Joe. That's the last of it. So we have to provide a service right now. Let's do it. Like, listen, man, give it your all. I know it's been a tough, long weekend, but dig deep down and let's give it our all. Here we go. As Joe! Woo! We did it, Joe.
I went baseline with
I know, man. I heard it. It was keeping me on point. I loved it. Anyways, hope you all love that as well too. If you have not yet, please subscribe to this video. Josh's Comics 01. He's like our sheriff. When he sees like 4 likes on there, he's gonna let you know. Well, that's 4 million, right? We have 26 million people watching now. The most popular comic book YouTube show on the planet.
It's the truth.
It's the truth. We don't lie. So please like and subscribe. We enjoy spending time here with you and like to get it out to more people we can meet as well because it's fun. All right, right now, after fresh off of his investigative report, Chet does have his new comic book week segment. So let's check that out, shall we, Joe?
Do it.
Give me roll the tape.
Roll the tape.
Greetings, my fellow mortals who are still clinging to the outdated medium of printed ink and sequential art. I, Chet GeePot, the undisputed oracle of the comic book universe, have once again descended from my ivory tower to bestow upon you the wisdom of my discerning palate. Today, I present to you the 3 comic book picks that will undoubtedly redefine your understanding of storytelling art and the very fabric of existence. First up, we have X-Force number 46. This groundbreaking issue takes the X-Force mythos to new heights, exploring the dark and gritty underbelly of mutant society with unflinching honesty and brutal realism. Prepare to be shocked, appalled, and ultimately enlightened by the revelations contained within these pages. Next, we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 145. This long-running series continues to deliver...
You know what? I had to stop it because that's not what Chet delivered to us. It's not, and we're cheating all of you all, right? We are cheating all of you all. Joe, I'm trying to stretch here because I had the wrong file that was uploaded here. Can you guys,
is that what happened?
Yeah, can you guys give me some credit here? Just be like,
I don't know. I was checking my phone, honestly. I try to ignore Chet as much as possible.
Thanks for trying, Jeff. I know you're doing great, but
you're doing okay.
Yay, just try and do better. Hey,
Yay.
Man, mistakes happen, dude. Yeah, because this video is processing right now. Is it really that important? Do you guys not want New Comic Book Day from Chet anymore? Let us know.
I love it. I actually love it.
All right. Well, guess what? It's loading right now with the images, because without images, it's just weird. Give me another
It's just Chet. It's just Chet being Chet.
Just give me another roll of tape, please.
Roll the tape.
Greetings, my fellow mortals who are still clinging to the outdated medium of printed ink and sequential art. I, Chet GeePot, the undisputed oracle of the comic book universe, have once again descended from my ivory tower to bestow upon you the wisdom of my discerning palate. Today, I present to you the 3 comic book picks that will undoubtedly redefine your understanding of storytelling art and the very fabric of existence. First up, we have X-Force number 46. This groundbreaking issue takes the X-Force mythos to new heights, exploring the dark and gritty underbelly of mutant society with unflinching honesty and brutal realism. Prepare to be shocked, appalled, and ultimately enlightened by the revelations contained within these pages. Next, we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 145. This long-running series continues to deliver the action-packed, pizza-fueled adventures that have made it a household name. But beneath the surface of turtle-powered hijinks lies a complex narrative that delves into the themes of family, friendship, and the enduring power of hope. And finally, we have Knights number 2. This mind-bending psychological thriller will twist your perceptions of reality and leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about the world. Prepare to have your mind blown, your sanity challenged, and your thirst for intellectual stimulation quenched. So, my fellow comic book enthusiasts, I command you to seek out these 3 masterpieces and immerse yourselves in their literary brilliance. And remember, if you don't read these comics, then you're nothing more than a bunch of uncultured swine who deserve to wallow in the mediocrity of mainstream entertainment. Check out!
Those are some harsh words. He really thinks a lot of himself and his picks. He does some good work, though. That expose was amazing on Johnny Galactico Comics. By the way, again, full Johnny Galactico rant down below. Dan De La Torre, I like seeing the comic covers, mostly because it hides Chet. Oh. He's got a face his mother loves, I'm sure. Brendan Riley. Transformers 2 comes out. I agree with that. Yo, I love that first issue. Loved it. I didn't realize it was coming out this week. I'm psyched that it is, because it is on my pull list. All right. Joe, New Comic Book Day picks are over. Then we did Ask Joe. We did the news.
Yes. We have one more segment.
The show. I thought, no, we're done, I think, right?
No, silly goose.
Well, what else do we do then?
We've got a segment that we do every week.
Right.
That involves you, not you, not you, you, the audience.
Right. What is it?
It's called Fresh from the Comic Shop.
Right, fly from the pressing salon. We ask you, the audience, how could I forget, to send in your fresh gets each and every week, and you do not disappoint, because each and every week, not only do you submit these fresh gets, but you're also submitting to potentially win an amazing slab at the end of the month. That's right. EGS and SpiderDude sponsors this segment called Fresh from the Comic Shop. We ask you to submit as many as you want, but we only pick one. And we look for 3 criteria in these submissions that move on to the semifinals. And we have the audience vote for the semifinals and then eventually the finals, which we had some reveals today. Bunch of reveals. But 3 criteria we look for in terms of your submissions. First, give us a well-composed shot. Get artistic with it. Don't just put it in your bathtub and take a shot, right? We don't want to see that dirty, scummy bathtub, do we, Joe?
No,
we do not. We want to see something that relates to the book you're showing off. What is it about? Give us some of those kind of fun little facts about the issue or what have you. Raising Elm, aka Justin, does a great job of that. Second, give us a unique book. Joe, explain unique.
I mean, it doesn't have to be $30,000. That's it.
Yeah, unique doesn't mean $30,000. Unique could be something we have just never heard of before, and it could be $3. Mark Leneker does a great job of showing us those books books as well. And finally, tug at our heartstrings, right? Tug at our heartstrings. What does this book mean to you? Does it bring up something from the past where you had a dog, Sparky, right? Your dog, Sparky, you're supposed to take your dog, Sparky, out for walks when you get home from school, right? But this one time you forgot to do so. And your ASM is sitting there in the corner. What does Sparky do? Goes straight to the corner and pees all over that ASM 300. Ruined, right, Joe? You don't want a stinky ASM 300 with dog pee on it, do you?
Nope.
You're just going to throw that away. But now you're an adult. You're like, gosh, I should have taken Sparky out. He shouldn't have peed on my ASM 300. I'm going to buy a new one because I'm an adult and I have a job and I could do it. And boom, there you are with a picture of your dog named Sparky and your ASM. You just sent us that and told us the whole story. That tugs at our heartstrings. Joe, you're looking forward to these stories I come up with each and every
day. I'm because it was like getting washed away in a flood for like 2 months straight.
Yeah.
Now you're on a roll here.
Every week I'm going to have a new one. So I'm going to have you explain criteria number 2, unique. So if you want to get fun with that, please do.
Okay.
So again, there's your criteria, your 3 things. Well composed, shock, get artistic with it. Unique book and tug at our heartstrings. Tell us the story behind this book, what it means to you. Okay, so we had our final semifinals from the month of October, and that, my God, did they not get loaded, Joe?
Me? I am
go.
but a worm.
You're not a worm, my friend. Hold on. Hold on. You're more than that to me. But I don't. Oh, there they are. Okay, here we go. Whew. False alarm. Semifinals right here. Who do we have? The semifinals were Mark Leneker and Raw Dog Comics. Raw Dog Comics moved on from that matchup right there. But Mark Leneker's book left an impression on Joe and I. We both want this book badly.
I actually. So the show that I was at this morning, there was a bunch of Charlton horror books, including some issues of Haunted. And this was not one of them. And I looked so carefully because there were no bags, no boards. They were like $1 each or $2 each or whatever in a box. And I'm like going through everyone. I'm like, come on, get that ghost face one. And now wasn't in there, but GG Mark Leneker. It was a close one. Well, kind of.
Yeah, we're going to get this book, Joe and I, each individually.
I'm going to find it somewhere.
We're going to find it and we're going to show you up. I don't know why we're getting so competitive with this. We really don't. It must be the adrenaline from the Eagles game.
Go Birds.
Go Birds. And then we had our winner. We had Raising Elm versus Raw Dog Comics. And I'm happy to report Raising Elm finally wins fresh from the comic shop. That was the
which means...
Yeah, we have to make an amendment. Well, first of all, congratulations to Justin, aka Raising Elm. You are going to win the October Book of the Month, which is Berserker #1, this beautiful foil edition. Please hit us up with your address in the DMs of Instagram. 9.8, beautiful red and black gradient label. Again, customized label. EGS Comics. My gosh, people, I did not give them EGS Comics. The link is down below. SpiderDude Comics. The link is down below. And as you can see, save 5% off your EGS order using the code Cannon5. Optional custom labels, as you saw right there with that Berserker. Free grader's notes, fast turnaround times. We love Tony and EGS Comics. No bullshit. We don't support products we don't believe in. Absolutely support EGS. Tony's a member of this community doing a fantastic job with this business. So with that said, we have a book of the month for November coming up. And I wish we didn't have this like delay in terms of people telling us, guessing what the book would be. So I'm just going to show it. You ready, Joe? Yeah, Joe, you saw it. You saw
it. It looks so good.
Is it, I hate this term, but is it a banger?
It's a banger. I would say it's incredible.
So well done. I can't do any better than that. Let's just show it. Boom, right there. Incredible Hulk #1, the George Perez variant for November. Look at this gorgeous, gorgeous custom slab right here. As you can see, you have the green up top with the text and the grade. You have the Incredible Hulk in the middle right there. And it's just a great looking cover. It's George Perez, for God's sakes. We love us some George Perez. Am I right, Joe?
We do love us some George Perez.
We do. I'm exhausted. Go Birds. Yes. So I had something to say and I can't remember what it was. I was like, bookmark it. Oh, I'll do it before we start, but I totally forgot. It went.
Was it the fact that Raising Elm won last month? So
that's what we were going to talk about. Raising Elm was chosen as a semifinalist for November. Guess what? He's not eligible to be a semifinalist. Joe and I will have to go back to the tape of last week's show and determine a semifinalist from there. They will go up against the semifinalists we determined this week as well. Right, Joe?
Truth.
I did it. Check that off the box. Moving on. All right, let's show off our first book from our audience member. We love some Mark Lineker. And as I said, Mark Lineker digs up some like gems you've never heard of before. These unique books you've never seen before. He doesn't disappoint again this week. Wait a minute. What? He's got a modern book here. What the hell is going on? Love it or not, here's Spider Boy. Hell if I know whether Bailey's Adventures will have publishing legs, maybe 8. But in honor of his first issue this week, here's a double dose of the Humberto Ramos Spider-Man 7 variants, the spoiler variant, and the second print 1-in-25 ratio. You surprised us, Mark. You absolutely surprised us. Joe and I are very interested in this character, not for monetary means, but actually legitimately interested in it. I read Spider-Boy 1. Love to hear if you all in the audience did as well. I don't want to spoil anything. Joe still has to read his.
Yeah, don't spoil. I picked it up. It's sitting downstairs in my living room right now, but I have not had a chance to read it yet.
It's probably under your dirty laundry.
Yeah, and Sparky's peeing on it.
Oh, God. That's a damn shame.
Just kidding. My dogs are named Bella and Stella.
Well, we've been over this. Make sure they don't pee on your books. Moving on, we have Marvel Man 616 Comics, the Superior Spider-Man #1. Guys, I've been working like crazy the past 2 weeks and a half. Sorry I haven't been able to post regularly, but hopefully things will start to slow down a bit too soon. Joe, what do we say each and every week? Like, people don't have to apologize for not posting. They don't have to apologize for not being on the show. But when they do apologize, they owe us an apology for apologizing. Am I right?
They have to apologize for apologizing because we don't accept apologies unless they're apologies for apologies.com.
It's that simple, people. It's that simple. What are you getting wrong here? Like, what's confusing about this, for God's sakes? Joe, just show me your first fresh get of the week. I'm so annoyed that I was apologized to.
Yes. First fresh get of the week. So like I said, I was at a comic book show. It's actually a pulp show. For those of you who don't know, pulps, they're thicker than comics, more popular prior to comics, kind of during that platinum age of comics before comics really took off in the golden age. So yeah, they're mostly from like the 20s, 30s, and early 1940s. Was at this little show at a hotel. Pope of Chilitown was there. Paul Bond was there, and Jim Steranko was there, which was super cool. He apparently is a really big pulp fan. He was just hanging out at this show. Wasn't doing like a signing or anything. Was just there. But one thing I got, and this kind of relates to something I have brought before. I think from Fresh from the Comic Shop, I brought either the Man-Thing or the Man-Wolf one. But this one is the Monster of Frankenstein Power Records comic book / record.
That's so cool.
Got the comic book in the front, and then the record as well. Nice little 45.
Oh,
of course,
yeah.
You want to complete with the story. I think there were like maybe like 12 of these. There's a list of them right here. I have the Spider-Man one, and I'm trying to get all the horror ones. So I have Man-Wolf and I have Man-Thing. Now I have Frankenstein. I just need the Dracula one. So that's the last one that I need. And I have the Spider-Man one as well. Yeah, this is just really cool. You know, this is like 70s, mid 70s, kind of just a little extra thing that Marvel did, teaming up with Power Records, I think it was called.
Okay, Joe. Let me ask you something. You're showing this off of Fresh from the Comic Shop.
Yeah.
You've been, we've all been in the judge's chair. What would you categorize that as in terms of the 3 criteria we look for?
I would say, well, obviously it's not a shot, so it's not a well-composed shot. And I didn't really have that cool of a story. So I would think it would fall into the category of being unique, not $30,000.
Correct on both accounts there. Well done. Well done indeed. All right, moving on. We have the man, the myth, the legend. I'm sorry, Dr. Plagueis. You from Washington. Where is it though? There we go. Dr. Plagueis, Dream Team 84, back like I never left with a submission for Comic Book Canvas, fresh from the comic shop. The first unofficial appearance of the Justice League Dark. Unfortunately, they have yet to make a Phantom Stranger figure, but Zatanna is a very suitable replacement. Cool side note, that Swamp Thing figure is scented. I recently picked up a $4,000 comic book collection and came across this copy, which was significantly better than mine, and I'm super happy to have it. This is really well done right here. Yo, the Swamp Thing looks awesome, and I was definitely going to comment on that. However, now I'm more curious as to what it smells like. Please, Dr. Plagueis, let us know.
Yeah, what is it scented like? This is very cool. I love Justice League Dark. I think Demon is like one of the most underrated DC characters. Love me some Swamp Thing. Yeah, I would love a Justice League Dark show, and I would love Clarion the Witch Boy to be in it.
Time out. Dr. Plagueis says patchouli. No way.
What?
You're messing with us. You're messing with us. Dr. Plagueis, tell us if this is true. We're not going to wait for the answer, but like that's just no way. No way. Moving on, we have the winner of October, and his name is Justin, aka Raising Elm. He just keeps it going, man. He's awesome. Awesome as always. By the way, Dr. Plagueis yet again confirms that it's patchouli.
That's wild.
DJ says it smells like Sparky. I hope not. I really hope not. That ASM 300 does not probably smell good. Moving on. All right, so yeah, howdy comic fam. This week's submission is a very rare treat. You see what he did there? It says Halloween this past week. You see all the books I've shared with you all over the years. I have been books for mine and our son's PC. However, this CGC 9.6 copy of Sandman issue number 1, well, this book is for my lovely wife's personal collection. Rand Irene 83. Not only that, but it was signed by the legendary Neil Gaiman, which is one of her favorite authors, if you couldn't tell. We were both thrilled to add such a unique book with such a rare signature to our curated assemblage. I love you, beautiful Rand Irene 83, and much love to my comic fam. Love you sharing this. That's a great story, a great, well-composed shot. I wouldn't say a unique book, but it's got Neil Gaiman's autograph signature on there, so it's just well done all around.
Yeah, and that's a little preview of what we might be seeing later on Pope of Chili Town's live stream after this.
He said something. I feel like I can guarantee I'm going to show a book no one has ever seen on the sermon. Again, Pope of Chili Town on Instagram after the show. Please join. Thank you. He did pay us to say that, by the way. How much was it? Like $150 a piece?
He only paid you $150? Oh, yikes.
All right. Well, here we go. I'm just going to get into it. My first fresh get of the week that I'm sharing with you fine people is Spider-Boy number 1, which again, I did read, but I also got the Scotty Young variant as well. It's pretty cool, huh? I like it.
You got the Scotty. Did you get the Chris Campana variant?
Of course I did not.
Wow, I'm sad.
Did that for a second though, right?
You had me.
Right. No, I only got those two. I felt like it. Oh, snap. Whoa. Does this mean he's not going to pay us?
It's not a spoiler. You're doing a CGC unboxing. That was a CGC book. That's all I said.
I don't even know what's going on here. I'm just in the middle of this awkwardness here. And yeah, Dan. Call it like it is, Dan. Call it like it is. This is extremely awkward. All right, moving on. We have Raising L. Who's next? Oh, Exodus Comics. Now here, this is a new poster person posting. I was a little confused. I asked the question, never got a reply back. I mean, it's
Exodus. He's been in the chat recently. He's Luis Partridge.
Okay. Welcome, Luis.
He buys from me a lot. So let's see what he got.
Okay, so Weezer poster circa 2001 by Adrian Tomine. How many submissions are we allowed? You can submit as many as you want, but we're only taking one for the show. Not that I could ever compete with Raising Elm Comics, just curious. So that answers it. It's a cool pickup right there. Joe, I'm gonna name drop it. I've worked with Weezer many times. I have some great
Wow.
stories.
Wow, you got Rivers on speed dial?
Not exactly,
No.
but it's a long story. It was always an adventure working with them. Always an adventure working with them.
Wow.
Moving on, we have Josh's Comics 01. That could be a jingle. What do you think, Joe? We're good at jingles.
Oh, this is so sick.
Yeah, it is actually very well done. Batman The Long Halloween, #1, first appearance of Alberto Falcone. Happy Halloween. I figured while not posting up one of my favorite runs of all time, having completed the entire run, starting with Halloween for the next year on every holiday. I'll post the books that go with them. It will be a few days late, but this is my fresh from the comic shop. I think that's a great idea. I really love this submission. Absolutely love the submission. You are not eligible because you've already won before, but Josh, this is a job well done. And I did see your question about the On the Hunt. I'll give you notes later. There's a reason we couldn't show up. We'll give you a little notes later. Joseph.
Yeah.
Second fresh cut of the week. What do you got? You look like you're about to pass out. I know you are.
I'm really tired, but I'm trucking through it.
Powering through this. Go Birds!
Go Birds. This is another book I got from the show today. They're really, like I said, it was a pulp show. There were a lot of people that had comics as well, but it was pretty much all bronze and older. I don't even think I saw, maybe one dealer had like some copper or modern comics, but pretty much everyone, again, bronze and older, which makes sense if they're pulp people. They're probably, just getting comics in collections, but this one's really cool. I love finding this stuff. This is, early Marvel, or they were probably still Atlas at the time. Pre-Hero Marvel. I think this came out maybe a couple months before Fantastic Four #1. This is Tales of Suspense 22. And to put into perspective, Iron Man is Tales of Suspense 39. So this is over a year before Iron Man. I think they were monthly. So over a year before Iron Man's first appearance. So yeah, right around the start of the Marvel age. I love these. These are, this Tales of Suspense and Journey into Mystery and Tales to Astonish. It was mostly like monster and sci-fi kind of stories and stuff like that. Before they kind of went back to the whole hero thing. But yeah, just look at that. Beware of Brutu. They all had dumb names like Erg and Glorp and stuff like that. And Brutu here. But yeah, I mean, classic stuff. A 10 center. You don't see much of that early Marvel.
Is that like Ditto or Kirby or something?
That's a good question. Where's my cellular? Here we go.
Yeah, why don't you get to that? I'll get to the next couple books here. We'll look that up because I'm definitely curious about that because Stan Lee was involved back then.
Yeah, he probably was the writer, I would think. Let's say issue 22.
I would think so.
Yeah.
I'm going to get to Comic Demon here real quick.
Well, hold on. I'm ready. So it's a Jack Kirby cover and Stan Lee written. So yeah, the classic team up.
That's incredible. Very, very. I love those picks. Again, dude, just give me one opportunity to be like, yo, that pickup sucks.
I'm going to bring a
Turok Pro #1.
Number 1.
What's yours?
I said Turok Dinosaur Hunter #1.
That'd be great, actually. A 9. You paid $300 for a 9.8.
No.
We got who did I say we got going on? I'm losing it too, everybody. I am losing it. Oh gosh, Comic Demon. There we go. Got behind again in my posting new comics, so it looks like I'm going to need to get back out on the web and do some instas. Okay, super light week, so no complaints there. But being a completist of my Walking Dead, got to get them all. Those are some nice pickups. Look at those covers. Those are some, I don't know, mid-range Walking Dead's, I don't know, 50s ish. I can't.
Yeah, definitely pre 100, I think.
Yeah. So good pickups right there. Nice. Next up, we got Bond.
Paul Bond.
A little off, but we're getting there. Look at this family time. Good work, Paul. Bad news, Bond. Shout out to Collecting Dude for finding and buying this Wally book for my son at Super Jersey Con last week. Wally is his new favorite movie, and he loves this comic. My daughter's just asking about Wally. I hope she gets into it because that's a really great movie. My second fresh get of the week, Joe. It's super fresh.
Yes.
I'm just interested. Okay. I want to read this Ultimate Universe #1.
Yeah.
Okay. Jonathan Hickman. I think it's Brian Hitch. No, Caselli. I don't know. I haven't read this one yet. Ooh, the art looks decent though.
Portobello Jones.
Huh?
What?
No, that's not who it is.
I just made up a name.
Oh, okay, good. Thanks. Cruella Jones.
Portobello.
We are losing it. Let's keep it together, Joe. We're almost there. We're almost there. Okay. Nukes Comics. Fresh from the comic shop, Amazing Spider-Man #3. This is the scroll variant. Spidey has been abducted by Tombstone and escape seems impossible. As he torments the Spider-Man, we learn of Tombstone's past. Will he show mercy on our friendly neighbor Wallcrawler, or is this the end of the line for Spidey? I picked this up from DBS, art by J.R. Jr., words by Wells. Good stuff indeed. I like these earlier issues of this run. I'm not caught up yet, but I have been reading it on Marvel Unlimited. I think it's pretty good. It just reminds me of what Spider-Man used to be back in the day with like McFarlane and things like that. Not the art specifically, but more.
Yeah.
The story.
And I think Tombstone is like,
I love him.
Super underrated character.
I agree. He is a badass villain right there. Next up, we got P. Keel, blue hologram newsstand found in the wild in New Mint, nonetheless. So good work on that right there. X-Men 25. Joe.
Yes.
Fresh get of the week. What do you got?
Oh, my third fresh get of the week is this bubble tea right here.
Woo!
Just it's not that.
You probably had that since this morning, correct?
No, like an hour ago.
Did you buy me breakfast? Because I asked you to buy me breakfast.
You didn't ask me to buy you breakfast. Why are you lying?
This morning I did. Oh, bullshit. I said, buy me the most expensive thing on the menu. Do you remember?
Oh, you did. You did when I was going to Be Well. Yeah.
You never got me anything.
Jeff called me at like 8:30 in the morning this morning. I just happened to be out getting breakfast. Anyway, yesterday was Back Deck Comic Fest at my house. And this is a cool community story. So I'm gonna tell it. I promise I'll keep it brief.
You're not eligible to win, by the way.
I'm not eligible to win, but it's a good story nonetheless. Last week at Super Jersey Comic Expo, I was set up selling there. A guy came up. We were talking about Golden Age books. We collect a lot of the same thing: horror, Batman, so on and so forth. And I mentioned, I was like, yeah, I just got a Golden Age collection recently, but it was mostly romance, not really my thing. You know, I collected a couple, I kept a couple for myself, but was looking to move the rest. And he was like, wow, I'm really interested. I love romance. I'm like, all right, we got to meet up. And he was like, yeah, totally. And I was like, well, I got a sale at my house next week. You should come by. Where do you live? And he was like, I live around here. I said, okay, I'm like an hour and a half away. I'll make it worth it for you. He messages me, gets my address, you know, and he comes by for Back Deck Comic Fest, and he brought some cool books. The one big book I wasn't able to get, he had a Batman 16, the first appearance of Alfred. Major key. I offered him all my Golden Age romance books. He still said no. That's okay. We couldn't make out that deal, but we did make a deal, and it was a partial cash, partial trade deal on a full long box of Golden Age romance books. He gave me 3 Golden Age horror books in addition to a healthy sum of cash. This is just one of the Golden Age horror books, and I'll show them all off this week. They're actually all from the same run. I guess we call this horror/crime, but yeah, crime suspense stories. This run, there's a lot of horror elements, but I guess it is a primarily a crime run. This is issue number 25, 1954. Yeah, 1954. So this is one of the last issues before the Comics Code Authority went into place, and they had to cancel a lot of the runs out there from EC Comics. Really, really cool cover with this woman kind of walking down the street and this guy lurking in an alleyway with this knife. Love the perspective there where she's in the background, he's kind of in the foreground wielding this knife, looking over his shoulder. Really, really cool. It's a 3.5, but you know, this book is almost 70 years old, and
that's nice, man.
Getting hard to find. And one thing I love about this book particularly is the red background with the yellow text on the trade dress just pops super nicely. Even in this low grade, it looks really awesome.
That again, this is so cliche to say, but it presents well.
It does present well.
Yeah, it's great. That's a nice pickup right there. No doubt about that. Finally, we have Brendan, aka the Collector Without Fear. I mean, Jesus. Stop it. Fresh from the comic shop today, we have a new mint copy of Uncanny X-Men 266, the second appearance of Gambit. He's going second. Despite what some may say. His first real appearance was what's that?
It's the truth. That's the second appearance of Gambit.
No, I know, but I know it's not as big as 180, 181, but it's a controversy. His first full appearance was in X-Men Annual number 14, though this is his first cover appearance and a much cooler cover at that. Gambit was always among my favorite X-Men characters. No one rocks a trench coat like he does. Did you see Chet earlier today? And he doesn't even need to flash people to get attention. Now that's a marvelous mutation. I love what he does here. I mean, the Collector Without Fear never disappoints. Well, he had the Moon Knight thing last week. Remember that submission?
Yeah, that was super cool.
Yeah, so
I'm not a statue guy, but they look awesome. They're not my thing.
The touches of the splashes of the purple lighting in the background. It's so well done. He's in production, but it's still well done. I mean, obviously that's why it's well done. All right. Oh, my last fresh. We got to put this stuff together. We got to think about something here. But my last fresh get of the week is I don't know. I just love John Byrne, man. So I picked up this Alpha Flight number 2. I mean, it's just John Byrne to a T.
Yeah, Puck.
Yeah, look at him. Look how hairy he is.
He's the best. I hope we see Danny DeVito as Puck in the MCU.
Stop. Not Danny DeVito. Please don't do that. Not Danny.
No, that would have been funny if they'd done that like 15, 20 years ago.
Never Danny DeVito. No.
I love Danny DeVito.
You want to see a bouncing Danny DeVito, don't you?
I do.
All right, we have a decision to make here, and it's not going to be an easy one. Oh, Jordan Norrie had a submission too, and I know I did it.
I'll get my phone out.
Oh,
getting ready.
Where is it? I know it's here.
We're going to check the Instagram.com Instantgram replay.
Yeah, we're going to need to. I don't know where it is. I know I did it. You got it?
Getting there.
I mean, I could probably find it quicker than you. So,
wow.
A lot of dead space going on. Maybe you should.
Here we go. I got it.
Oh, you got it.
I think this is it. Yes, it is. Here we go. Boom.
Look at that. Well, one of us has to read it. Okay, so hold it up, please. Thank you.
Do you want me to read it?
No, you hold it, bro.
Okay, I'm holding.
Well, I figured I would skip Thunderbolts for a week or two and show love for Marvel's best female character, Elektra. I picked up her entire Volume 3 series, and it did not disappoint. Elektra kicked ass, and Bullseye and Lady Bullseye were key parts of the story. The cover art for this series was amazing. Now that my Thunderbolts run is almost complete, it is time to put my efforts toward my Daredevil, Bullseye, and Elektra collection. Take care, everyone. Well, that's a nice shot right there. Look at all the beautiful covers we have going on. Apologies for that. It gets a little busy, especially with an Eagles game at 4 o'clock.
Go Birds.
Go Birds. So yeah, we have some decisions to make here. And yeah, I like the family thing going on with Paul Bond, but I don't think
that's always good.
I don't think we could pick that though. Josh is ineligible, but
that's a great shot.
Great submission. Raising Comics is ineligible.
Raising Comics, yes.
But another great submission.
Yeah, that would take the cake for me. But ineligible because he won last month. Collector Without Fear is ineligible as well.
No, why is Collector Without Fear ineligible? I don't believe.
Didn't he win one?
No,
he didn't win that one. When he had the art, the metal art, the punctured. Do you remember that?
I don't think he's won fresh from the comic shop.
I thought he won when he had it. It was a
Brendan, please confirm.
Punctured. It was Punctured Iron by Rachel something.
I remember that. I don't think that won though.
I thought it won.
Please confirm, Brendan, if you're still in the chat.
That one's up there. Same thing with Dr. Plagueis's with the whole team.
That one sticks out for me big time. But
yeah, the fact that he's done a couple of these shots and
yes,
and,
with the shot. This one right here.
This one's got the whole team here, pretty much the whole team.
Yeah. Brendan has not won. He just confirmed he has not won.
Okay,
so for me, it's between these two.
I agree.
Oh God, this is freaking tough.
It is. It's tough. I think that this one, just because it has the whole team, this one's got a really cool pairing. Don't get me wrong. Awesome setup.
It really is.
The other one, it's the fact that the team in Funko form is there. And that's underrated in my opinion too. Justice League Dark and that whole.
I agree.
I want to go with this book.
I think we're gonna have to go with Dr. Plagueis, everybody. Yeah.
All right.
This is a tough one right there. Dr. Plagueis, you are moving on to the semifinals. The first semifinals in November. You will be going up against somebody from last week that Joe and I have to decide who that is.
We'll figure that out.
But Dr. Plagueis, congratulations. And Brendan, keep sending those in. You're gonna win. I know you are. Eventually, you are going to win. And if we needed a record breaker, Dan De La Torre would have done it as well. So.
All right, there we go.
And Brendan gives his blessing to the Funko. So yeah. Joe and I are just crawling to the finish line here. We appreciate y'all so very much. No bullshit. It's been a long week, drama-filled week too. Yeah, and again, glad we got to the bottom of Johnny Galactico Comics. Joe, you've bought from him many times.
Many times.
And if you guys want to see the full rant, the link is down below in the description. It's important that you do to see what kind of person this guy is. But thank you, Chet. Actually, we're thanking him for digging up and uncovering, doing this investigative journalism. And that's award-winning stuff. So with that said, please like and subscribe. We're going to be back again next week, 8 p.m. Eastern time, 5 p.m. Pacific. Joe, I'm going to leave you with final words here because I'm too tired to say anything else.
Yeah. When we shut down in 1 minute, don't forget, hop over to Instagram.
That's right.
Chili Town. We don't want to forget him. He's going to be doing an unboxing / a midnight mass comic sermon. So again, Pope of Chili Town on Instagram.
Pope.of.chili.town. Maybe dot.
True. You gotta forget. Yeah. Don't forget the dots. But I think most people in the room probably follow him already.
They better
through one way or another. So hop on over there. Go Birds. Very
Go Birds!
important. But yeah, as since Jeff's letting me say the final words, I will. Hey guys, I'm Jeff from Comic Book Cannon, and I want you to be kind to yourself and also be kind to others. Peace.